Good afternoon and welcome here to the Auckland Bowling Club, situated, this beautiful historic club, one of the oldest bowling club in New Zealand for sure, and one of the oldest bowling clubs in the world. And we're here today covering the Auckland Bowls Hunter Champion of Champion pairs. And the game that we're going to concentrate on is the final of the women's pairs, and that is between the lead, Paris Baker, out of the New Lynn Club with her skip, Olivia Blomfield. And they're up against the Carlton Cornwall side of Lisa Prideaux and Karen Hema. Earlier we saw the Karen Hema skip side quite narrowly actually defeat the combination of Doreen Jensen skipping and Jamie Delaney. And in the other semi-final, we saw the Olivia Blomfield Paris Baker combination defeat the Point Chevalier combination of Jenny Stockford leading with Joe McKenna skipping the side. And to be fair, the Blomfield Baker side led right throughout, right throughout the match. The other game was sort of seesawed a wee bit. Also underway here as well, and we'll give you updates from around the green. We've got the men's semi-finals underway as well. And we've got Danny Delaney and David Motu of the Ellerslie Club. They're playing Scott Harrison and Tony Marinkovic of the Balmoral Club. The other semi-final sees Richard Kempthorne and Roger Johnson of St Heliers up against the defending champions Leif Selby and James Williams of Carlton Cornwall. And of course last year when Selby and Williams won this Auckland event, went on from there, played in the New Zealand finals and won the New Zealand title, won in fact the New Zealand pairs. So they are the defending champion, not only the Auckland defending champions, they also are of course the national defending champions as well. So Gerard, here we go, in one, by goodness, Paris Baker. She's opened with 3 bowls literally all around the jack, and Lisa Prideaux has been over the head. Her closest bowl is about about a metre behind the jack, and I'm sure with these two combinations, two very strong combinations, just someone needs to tell Lisa Prideaux, please don't stand in front of the cameras, Lisa, move aside please, thank you. So we should be in for a good 18-end final here in this Hunter Champion of Champion pairs.
Yeah, thanks for that introduction there, Kevin. Yes, I'm looking forward to this very good match between these two very competitive sides. And also, I'd like to keep an eye on my Carlton Cornwall fellow Carlton Cornwall mates in the men's singles as well. Also, just a little shout out to Mark Cameron. He did qualify in the 1 to 5 pairs, and he's won his first round in the 1 to 5s as well. So he's into the round of Sweet 16.
So for those who want to watch this live coverage, just go to the Auckland Bowls website, and it will take you to the various links that are there to be able to watch the live action as we watch Hema go through the head. Now again, I'm just going to state right from the outset here, Jared, I just feel that's a poor shot selection from Karen Hema, because there's a 2-bowl run there, whereas on the other hand, the hand of which Olivia Blomfield is playing, a draw around the front bowl will give you a shot.
Yeah, I just feel that Karen Hema is a much more aggressive player by way of style than what we saw in the previous match between New Lynn and Point Chev. And so I'm expecting to see a lot more up shots and run shots from Karen Hema. And
that's absolutely fine, but therefore if you're going to do that, you have a different line to what you played with your first one, that's for sure. Here's Hema now on the backhand, 3 down on the head, trying to look for the jack, needs to get inside the line of the jack, is close. How's the weight to get to the jack? Is it going to cut away? Is it going to get a lucky rub? It did, got a very fortunate slide off the front bowl and moved the jack back ever so slightly, where there's a Lisa Prideaux sitting in a bowl a metre behind to hold 2 shots. And it's interesting that Karen Hema bowl and
Paris Baker
are very much
very much of a muchness, aren't they?
They are.
Yeah.
So here's now Olivia Blomfield, the skip for the New Lynn side. A lot of deliberations. I know it's each to their own, but in 1, 2 down, draw the shot.
Just draw the shot. Yeah, just get on with it. Just.
It's nothing too technical. On the backhand is Blomfield trying to get down to where these counting bowls are, looked out of the hand to be narrow, needs a bit of luck to be able to. It'll have decent weight more than likely, but the old story, just by missing your line, that's the target really on. That's the draw target really now for Karen Hema. She can draw out to the purpley coloured bowl of Olivia Blomfield. It'd be close to a counting position.
He could be sitting there for 4, because those Paris bowls are in the front. Paris had 3 around the head, 3 around the jack, and the jack's moved back.
Here's Karen Hema now. Lisa Bordeaux watching it closely, trying to.
Oh, that was a terrible bowl.
It's interesting. I had a good chat in the lunch break to Leif Selby, and he shares what I would call some of my frustration about consistency and peers and peers. Consistency is there's two important things in peers: lead and consistency.
Right.
And that shot there from Karen Hema, I'm sorry, but literally had 2 metres to draw.
Yeah.
Safely.
So,
a counter.
And again,
and was 8 feet short.
Yeah, and this is the point that I said. You're positioning your bowl closest inside the opposition's bowl. You're not trying to draw to the jack.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And played a good bowl though, because we're down on the head and got a trail on the jack, and was able to turn a sort of an adverse head into a scoring head. And Bordeaux, of course, is winner of 2 New Zealand peers titles, playing with Val Smith. And when in Australia, of course, at St John's Park, was always in their number 1 pennant side. And I'll just say to people who are there watching this event, if you want to watch a lady player who has consistency on their draw lines, you've got 2 of them here with Paris Baker and Lisa Bordeaux, who are both very, very proficient, what I would call top-class leads. So watch this bowl of Paris Baker's,
Paris
which
is just short. Yeah.
But you would know from being at the Carlton Club, Gerard, that certainly Lisa Bordeaux brings a very, very high standard upon herself as far as the lead's concerned.
Certainly.
And Karen Hema clapping this bowl pretty early on in the piece. This bowl of Lisa Bordeaux's, which is just going to go by. We'll finish on the centre line, and it's a good metre and a half over. So there's ample room there.
Still a bit of room to draw. Yeah.
Absolutely, there is. And look, we'll find somebody shortly. We'll send some runners out throughout this match, so as that we can give you updates as well on the men's semi-final, which has been played further down the rink here at the Auckland Bowling Club. And here's Bordeaux with her 3rd bowl on the forehand, and there's plenty of room for Lisa Bordeaux to draw the shot here. And again, Karen Hema, we'll have to get a word to it to just so as we can see the bowl throughout, not just at the finish. Jack level and would be shot.
I'm just looking over to rink 7 where Selby is playing on, and I see that Carlton Cornwall placed the mat and threw the first bowl, so they must have won the first end, but I didn't see the number of shots.
So coming up short is Paris Baker. She'll be disappointed with this end, but rest assured, very, very good player, good lead. And I'll question early on in the match, Gerard, is that trying to get that length consistency as well, to get that drawing consistency. And I know that Lisa Bordeaux is a player that is likes to have the jack and mat. She's got a good longer length player.
Yes.
And coming from Australia, or playing most of her bowls in Australia earlier on, that's very, very much the Australian methodology of consistency. As we watch Hema now, Karen Hema, the well-performed Auckland player, on the map, on the forehand. And again, you could see out of the hand.
narrowness.
You could see out of the hand that was always going to be under the line. Might get away with it, but sitting on the bowl, but was under the line. And the old inward hand at the point of delivery, which just makes it makes sure that your bowler's going to go under the head, not the hand out at the delivery point. Olivia Blomfield will be playing on her backhand, playing up towards us here with Karen Hema holding the shot, and this too is going to suffer and wait. And the draw line really for Karen Hema is out to the really coloured bowls out to the side. Gets out on that forehand side, just inside that line. It will be close. I'll just see where we got a better line.
That's a better width, yeah.
Don't know about the weight though.
Oh no, the weight's all right.
Weight very short. Just the learning point here, Jared, is that face the body out to the line, and there's a red bowl, multicoloured bowl out to the side.
Yeah.
That's your
line. That's your line.
That's your line. That's all you've got to concentrate on. And Olivia Blomfield is going to, again, just miss that weight. I think.
No, she's got through. And it fell in. Yeah, that's one to Newlyn.
Lisa Bordeaux saying it's one to her, but...
Oh, well, okay.
So, who knows? It's a draw. So, again, now, Hema now.
I don't think it's one to Lisa, is it?
No, one to the Carlton.
Karen.
Yeah, Carlton Cornwall side. And playing out on the backhand is Karen Hema, trying to draw down inside that bowl and going to do so. Well played from Karen Hema. A toucher, well played. And
Maddie dragged it back to...
No, just the one down. I just saw the signal there, just the one. But of course the advantage is the Lisa Bordeaux bowls sitting directly in behind the head. You can see them sitting there under number 2 there. So any jack movement straight back will go directly to those 2 bowls of Bordeaux's over the head.
I was just looking at the pink bowls. They've both got white rings on them as well, so it's very hard to distinguish.
It is hard to...
Certainly from here anyway.
So here's Olivia Blomfield looking to get down following the Karen Hema line, and on a good attempt here. Is it going to sit the inside, rocks the outside of the bowl. Great attempt there from the Newland skip, and will just be the one. So it's it is 3-0 after 2 ends to the Carlton Cornwall side of Lisa Bordeaux leading with Karen Hema skipping, and they're playing the Newland combination, former world under-25 indoor singles victorious winner Paris Baker, young world champion, and her skip Olivia Blomfield. Now it's interesting, you see Lisa Bordeaux, Matt's back. Yeah, I just want to see this. She tells me told me in the lunch break that she's got new glasses. So
yes.
She can see further.
I did notice that she had new glasses, but...
So this is what we're talking about. 2 metre mark jack, back.
What's that old adage? Men don't make passes to women who wear glasses or something?
Something like that. As she told me, just got the new one. So
good for her. Good for her.
So Lisa did say, I can see the end of the green.
I can see clearly now.
So here is Lisa Bordeaux on her backhand, that very deliberate stance. And of course, Lisa's son, Beau, won a New Zealand fours, playing with the great Rowan Brassey in the father and son Hassel combination of Taranaki in the Nationals a few years back, plays number 1, of course, pennant bowls in Australia. He plays out of St John's Park Club, I think, but Beau, his son, very, very proficient bowler. And of course, Lisa's partner, Leif Selby, needs no introduction at all. In his day was certainly, he was a world champion. He in the Commonwealth Games at Delhi. Really great player. As we watch this bowler just go by the Paris Baker Bowl, and what a great coup for Auckland Bowls to have Leif Selby on the coaching and high performance staff, really, isn't he?
Certainly is.
All the bowls, let's say bowls in general.
Bowls in general, yeah.
It's a great thing for Auckland Bowls to have the initiative to have Leif on board.
But it's also really great that Leif's prepared to do that. You know, he gave up bowls and he retired from bowls and he came to live in New Zealand and try and hide a little bit.
He did hide for a while.
But he's been coaxed out of hiding, and he's
he was.
and he's made this commitment to give back to the bowls. Yeah.
Well, I'm very pleased to say, Gerard, that I did have some part of those conversations.
Oh, that's very I'm very glad about that. I'm very glad about that.
Yeah, Leif and I, and we had a long breakfast on Waiheke some time ago. And I've fortunately known Leif for a number of years when I was involved myself, and a gentleman with it. So, on the back end, after Paris Baker's just drawn right to the square, and Lisa Bordeaux's got a good response here. The Carlton Cornwall lead is going to draw Jack level just right on the 2 metre mark.
That's why you get 3 bowls. One for line, one for luck, and one for length.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, other way around.
You see straight away consistency.
Yep.
I don't want to labour on the point, but if you want to get consistency, that's the way to do it.
Just ducks under, eh?
Yeah, but there's only a couple of bowls out of the target area.
Yeah.
But for the Carlton Cornwall side, again, we've seen with Alicia Bordeaux, 1 on, 1 over.
Yep.
Metre over, 1 on. And, for those who have played a lot of, anyone playing bowls, really, if you want to know the true essence, and as you rightly said before, Gerard, it's about beating the other bowl.
Yeah.
And it's like a Chinese checkers, draft, chess, whatever. You're literally covering the moves, aren't you?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
So here is now Karen Hema with her first bowl on this, the third end, with the Carlton combination leading 3-0. This looks a good line as well. This bowl at Hema's, it breaks towards the head now, will just go by, but still sitting just in behind the Jack on that 2 metre, Jack sitting on the 2 metre mark.
It's a nice position at the back there. Nice line at Karen Scott.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's any one can see to differentiate between those two sets of bowls, and there's not a lot, is there? So Olivia Blomfield more than likely won't have the weight. To be fair to her, it's her first bowl from we did the semi-final as well.
Yes.
It's her first bowl of the 2 matches at this length, isn't it?
Yeah, so, correct. Yeah.
So it's a matter of how one adjusts with your second and third bowls to that length. I just looked over and saw Leif Selby drawing a toucher on the rink way over the far side there. We'll update you with those. Better attempt here from Blomfield, but going to be short.
No, that's Karen's.
Oh, that's Karen's. My apologies. Short.
Short.
Wait.
Oh, no, it's sitting there.
It's sitting
Karen's
there. It's
Olivia's there on our right, isn't it?
Yes, that's the bowl of Paris Baker's bowl, sitting just past the Jack on the 2 metre mark. So Olivia Blomfield will just be endeavouring to just improve her weight by a metre. Is she going to do so? Needs to get past the front. By goodness, this is on a good line to the Jack. This is on a great line. This is on a great line and moves the Jack around the corner. 3 shots. Well played. Well played by the Newland skip. Improved.
It's Karen's bowl there, isn't it?
Oh, right. Okay. So, but those 3 there?
That one there at the back is this one here. Those are Paris's. So it could be 2 or 3. Just depends.
So, Heman now on the mat. By goodness.
Is taking a bit of a run, is
Jack hunting or bowl hunting? Jack hunting.
No, not it's swinging away.
Boy, that was quite adventurous.
I said earlier on that Karen Hemmer's not scared of a run.
Well, I suppose one could say I could try and dare draw and fall short. But an opportunity here for a handy number for the Newland side after, and this looks on a good line as well. This bowl of Olivia Bloomfield. This is a well played bowl here from the Newland skip. It's going to draw right alongside the jack, and it's now we'll see what the story is. We'll see.
I didn't see this.
I thought I saw 3. I'm not sure.
Just normally the indication is a 3 in
The drawing in the ear.
And then 4.
Was it 4?
4. Traditionally, the 4 is signalled in similar to what you do in cricket with a 4.
Oh, the old.
Yeah.
So, I suppose one could pose the question early on in this match. We go into the 4th end. We just picked up a 4 on a full-length head.
Yeah.
And we're playing a short head.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. Why would you do that? Yeah.
Certainly, there was a great conversion shot played by Olivia Bloomfield, but psychologically, Gerard, it just gives you confidence playing the length.
Right. Right. And certainly Olivia was over the head, so she had the measure of that.
So,
Paris had the Paris was over
Absolutely.
the head, so she had the measure of that, of the long end. Yeah.
so here is.
There we are. Look at that.
So we see Lisa Bordeaux draw right on the centre line. Now the shot adjusted that line perfectly to get back to the centre line and draw the shot. Paris Baker had just want to adjust the line slightly. Just looked though out of the hand to be still on that wider side. Just how, because on these shorter heads as well, Gerard, your bowl's not going to move back as far with the just the way it is.
Yeah, just the way it is. Yeah. Although sometimes if you have a shorter end and you cut your green because you think it's going to swing, it swings all right. And
Well, it has got a chance of holding up further. There's a very good deliberate delivery of Lisa Bordeaux. Got it out fractionally wider, but that'll be fine.
just clapping it.
Well, because if it
Come
sits
on in.
inside these 2 bowls of Paris Baker, she'll be happy with that, and does
Yeah,
do.
And it does do.
And that's exactly what you're talking about
Yeah.
before. It wasn't worrying about the jack, but it most importantly beat the bowl, which they had to beat.
Yep.
So Paris Baker with her 3rd bowl after just scoring a 4 on the 3rd end. And Olivia Bloomfield
like
trying
it's
to
hanging out
encourage,
again.
but it'll hang out. So here's a chance here for Lisa Bordeaux to really put the heat on the Olivia Bloomfield skip side when they change over. There's a good chance here of changing over, holding 3 shots for the Carlton Cornwall. Ooh, she gives a bit of a grimace to the face there at
grimace.
the point of delivery. Karen Hema encouraging the bowl in towards the head, and will sit inside
Oh,
it and
well
over
done.
the head.
Yeah.
And that's
It's a good bowl.
you can't get them much better than that from a Leeds perspective.
No.
So they change ends with it being 3 shots to the Carlton Cornwall side, with Newland leading 4-3 after 4 ends.
3 ends.
3 ends, sorry. And the semi-finals, which have been played out here as well. We will keep you updated on those. Have we also got some of the 5 year and under up on this top green?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. We've
So
got,
good
two
response.
Two games.
Good response there from Olivia Blomfield with her first bowl. Finishes in behind the head, right on the centre line, and has reduced the count to more than likely, I would say, the one shot. So we watch this bowl of Hima's coming by on the wider side, or maybe shot, in fact, the bowl of Olivia Blomfield. It's a measure. So good recovery there from the New Zealand skip. Drew right to the centre line on the forehand. Looks to have brought that line in and has taken
short. You heard a grimace.
And
you heard a groan.
Calling for a metre of weight short of the head. So here's Karen Hema needs to adjust her backhand line with this, her second bowl on the fourth end. Lisa Rideau taking interest in this bowl as it breaks in towards the head now. Needs to sit on that. Something is going to or falls out.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see the indication here now from Paris Baker to see what the story is, whether
she said come up and have a look.
That altered the measure. And by goodness, I must say, Olivia Blomfield doesn't need a second invite to go up and have a look at the head. And if we can find a runner around here somewhere who can give us updates of those, exact updates of those men's peers. There was a man here from the Auckland Bowls Club. See if we can grab him in but a moment. So Olivia Blomfield has had a look at the head, leading 4-3. Play her last bowl. Yeah, important bowl here because there's a great opportunity for Karen Hema, as you say, doesn't mind to attack. If Olivia Blomfield doesn't get a bowl on the head here, great opportunity for Karen Hema to play for a full-shot opportunity.
Yep, definitely.
So on the forehand, and it's out on that wider line. How far is this going to come back towards that centre line? Paris Baker not moving.
Karen's sitting there.
And
oh, that might have changed the complexion.
But still, I'd say at least a three-shot opportunity to play down through the bowl. Only needs 2 rolls on the bowl. So here is Hema trying to play up to that middle bowl, that mauve bowl in the middle, trying to get to it to the shot itself. And is it going to fall into a shot? This must be shot.
Yeah.
That is well
Beautiful
played.
bowl.
That's the shot for sure. Well played by the Carlton Cornwall skip. And Lisa Rideau having a good look. I think the measure will come out. Definitely the one for sure to the Carlton Cornwall combination.
I see the umpire walking around getting ready. Can they sort it out themselves or do they need help? Here comes our runner. It's just a signal to her.
Well, there's 3 bowls, in fact, in that measure. So they're going to the Karen Hema bowl. Now we'll come around to the middle bowl, that being the Olivia Blomfield bowl. And
just the one. Just one.
Just the one shot,
yep,
by all accounts, to the Carlton Cornwall combination. So that's locking everything up at 4 apiece. Remembering earlier we saw in the semi-finals, we saw Olivia Blomfield and Paris Baker defeat Joe McKenna and Jenny Stockford in one semi-final, and in the other semi-final we saw Karen Hema and Lisa Prideaux defeat Doreen Jensen and Jamie Delaney in that semi-final. And of course in the men's semi-finals, which someone's just going to get an update for us, it is Danny Delaney and David Motu of the Ellerslie Club up against Scott Harrison and Tony Marinkovic of the Balmoral Club, and Richard Kempthorne and Roger Johnson of St Heliers up against the Carlton Cornwall and defending champion side, Leif Selby and James Williams. Jack's been delivered. And straight away,
Oh, James, good ball.
the 2 metre mark. You see Lisa Bordeaux now on her back end. Jack's on the 2 metre mark. That very smooth delivery of Bordeaux. Out on that backhand side. Karen Hemer applauding this bowl as it comes down towards the centre line, and a good opening bowl here from Lisa Bordeaux, sitting literally just one bowl, Jack Lowe, on that backhand side. And one would think, the assumption, good thinking, Paris Baker, follow what you're up against. So onto the backhand immediately goes Paris Baker. Look narrow out of the hand.
Looks short as well.
I know Olivia was coaxing it on, but that was, as you rightly said, Gerard, looked short all the way down. So Bordeaux will be more than happy to draw past her own, just to get past the 2 metre mark. Be more than happy to sit just in behind the head.
Looks like a good line from Lisa.
Well, Karen Hemer's applauding it very early on in the piece.
Just depends on her weight.
Needs a metre of running to get down past it clearly, a clear run. Finishes literally Jack level, or slightly over Jack level. You'll see the Jack just sitting just in front of the 2 metre mark. And making a good leading from Paris Baker as well, following the Lisa Bordeaux hand, because although she's not going to with this bowl, it just gives you the chance to get amongst their bowls rather than playing to try and fight on a hand, so to speak. But we've seen each end so far, we've certainly seen Olivia Bloomfield play some one really good conversion shot, and one very good saving shot that we saw her play. As you said, Bordeaux, facial expression that
it's a little bit of rough on the green there, and it's just holding up the bowl.
Well, if this stays up on deck, there's nothing. So here we have the updates on the men's semi-final. And I can tell you it's the Danny Delaney combination.
How many rounds?
Playing with David Motu that are up against Balmoral. And it's the Ellerslie combination leading 7-4. 7-4 to Ellerslie over Balmoral. And the other match that, of course, is St Heliers up against the Carlton Cornwall combination. So it is 7 ends gone in the 7 ends in both of these games gone. And it is Carlton Cornwall, that's the combination of Lace Selby and Jamie Williams, and they're leading 10-2 over the St Heliers combination of Richard Kempthorne and Roger Johnson. So the men's semi-final sees Danny Delaney and David Motu of Ellerslie leading Scott Harrison and Tony Marinkovic of Balmoral 7-4 after 7 ends, and the defending champions Leif Selby and James Williams leading 10-2 over the St Heliers combination of Richard Kempthorne and Roger Johnson after 7 of the 18 ends. And in this final, the women's, we're all locked up at 4 apiece, and it is the Karen Hemer bowl, which is shot, and
she's running to the back. So that's running into the ditch.
Into the ditch.
There's no need for the waste to bowl like that.
Well, it comes back to a point that you and I spoke about of where your target line really is and what you're trying to beat. Olivia Bloomfield was not far away with her first bowl on the backhand draw. Finished Paris Baker, and with her last finish Jack level. Here's a good attempt here from Olivia Bloomfield. Is it going to run all the way down to the centre line and Jack? No, it's not. Now it's
half a mat.
It's imperative here that Karen Hemer
needs a second shot, otherwise
needs to get another bowl on the head, because there's a 3-shot attack there for the early on for the.
This is looking like a better line. Oh no, she's cut it, I think. Well, it just depends on the weight.
Well, it needs to sit Well, it was a, and you might have heard Paris Baker then indicating to Olivia Blomfield, play for the bowl, and I play it early. Play it early. And yeah, Paris Baker indicating to Karen Hema, you can do it. So on the back end, trying to get what the shot bowl.
It's a little wide and a little heavy.
Yeah, well, what I would say to Karen Hema is you've perhaps been given a lifeline there.
Yeah, I think so. I think you've been let off. You're quite right there.
So
again, you got to bowl to that to the Lisa's bowl. You don't have to bowl to the kitty.
No, and if you get the 2 metre mark, get right on the tee at the 2 metre mark, is also a good outcome for the Carlton Cornwall combination. And we're all locked up 4-all as we come down to the back end of the 15.
And cut it again.
Well, because you're steering the bowl. No other reason. I'm sorry. Because you're target playing rather than green playing.
Yeah.
And I just wonder whether, in this case, whether better to change the hand and drive the bowl. Because with playing with weight down the other hand, chance of tipping her own bowls as well into the head. Playing to a 1 bowl target.
Looks like she's playing backhand though.
Yeah, well, to me, it's the best shot option to me, the hand that she's playing. But you saw that out of the hand went squelch.
Oh, gosh, that was a close one.
It nearly got what was the shot bolt on the way out. Now, Karen Hema.
They say bowls is a game of millimetres, but boy, that was closer than a millimetre.
You can smile, Karen. The first thing I'd be thinking of is, hey, I've got to lift my game. Because they were 2 disappointing bowls, really, that Karen played. And, you create your own pressure.
That's
Even
true.
when you're holding the shot, you create your own pressure. And that's really what you don't want to do. Now, it's interesting coming this way. We're seeing Lisa Bordeaux deliver the jack to a far shorter length. That's coming up towards us here in the commentary position. But again, Lisa has been pretty consistent on this length. So just to update you quickly again on those men's. Danny Delaney of Ellerslie leading 7-4 over Scott Harrison of Balmoral. Leif Selby of Carlton Cornwall leading Richard Kempthorne of St Heliers 10-2 after 7 of 18 ends. As we see this first bowl of Lisa Bordeaux's just come lower the jack, just 1 bowl lower the centre line, but it's still a pretty handy start. And now my Paris just doesn't want to be swapping hands. That's she's been playing. She's matched Lisa Bordeaux pretty much all the way, and there's Lisa trying to encourage the bowl on is Olivia Blomfield, indicating it's not quite at the head, and it's not. Finishes just on the centre line, outside the centre line. 1 bowl outside the centre line on the other hand. So the big bowl now for Bordeaux is just to beat her own.
Beat her own, correct.
And if she does that, she's sitting pretty much on top of the jack and cuts a lot of options off very early on the head. So here is Lisa Bordeaux on her backhand. Getting applause. Well, Karen Hema tends to applaud every bowl, so I'm not going to I'm not going to take too much upon. I'll wait till I see where the bowl finishes, which is over the head, which is fine. 5-4 to Hema and Bordeaux after 5 of 18 ends. Gone off fraction wider to get some draw on the bowl. Here has Paris Baker, but it's going to might get the gap. Does get the gap. Turned the Lisa Bordeaux bowl over. Well, Karen's even clapping now before the ball gets delivered. So here again is Lisa Bordeaux, twice winner of the New Zealand Peers with Val Smith. Has won a couple of Auckland titles as well, I know, on the way through in various disciplines. And
Does she have the weight? Does she have the weight?
Finish Jack level, consistent.
Oh, yes.
It's
That's a good bowl, Lisa.
well,
it's a good bowl.
Well, it is a very good bowl insofar as well how the other hand is looking now is to be able to draw around and get inside that what is the shot bowl of Lisa Bradot. So here is Paris Baker, former world under 25 indoor champion, certainly out on that wider line. Where it's coming back now, but will it come back all the way? No, it won't. And that's just comes back to the centre line. And that's just what we were just talking about, Gerard, where the shot bowl sits for Lisa Bradot just makes the path to the jet. On the other hand,
right,
it just the margin of error is greatly reduced. And the biggest thing for Karen Hema is not to play that hand to thus give a possible shoulder or lean on that hand, which can happen, of course. So
one would expect that Karen will just follow Lisa in with it on that forehand.
One would hope so.
One would hope so. Looks like she's doing that. Yeah,
which of course is her backhand, isn't
her forehand. Being a left-hander.
Yeah, she's a left-hander.
No, it's her backhand.
Backhand it is.
Yeah, backhand.
So now here it comes, breaking back. Got to get past the Lisa Bradot bowl. Is it going to get past? Is it going to get past? No, it doesn't. Just builds that wall up in front. So you'll see there's two bowls of Paris Bakers there in the front of the head, and one of Karen Hema's, leaving that Olivia Bloomfield is just that backhand draw shot to the shot bowl of, and you can see what we just with that. That's making it harder now.
Oh, fell in and fell out.
So, got a free run as the Carlton Cornwall side on Karen Hema's backhand. Just to beat the bowl will be enough.
One of the problems with Olivia's bowl is she's blocked the other two from bumping them up.
Correct.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's a terrible bowl, Karen, I think.
Needs a lot of luck. Needs a lot of luck to get the gap.
Oh, talk about luck, buddy. Talk about luck.
That was luck. As we said, 6 feet out, needed that to get through that.
You put $100 bill on that gap and she couldn't go through it again.
Just got that generosity, that little slide at the finish.
That little nickel, yeah.
And here is Olivia Bloomfield out on that backhand, trying to encourage the bowl in is Paris Baker. Not going to get to the shot, and that's actually a very, very good effort to a difficult head to play to on that backhand side for the Newland combination. And it'd be still 2 shots lane to the Carlton Cornwall combinations. Karen Hema goes to her backhand, and here goes Tamara taking the umbrellas out for the cameras. So you even put umbrellas over the cameras here. So got the bowl out on a wider line here. Has Karen Hema. This should come back past those to the centre line. Or if it comes back, it'll count. Gets inside this bowl of Olivia Bloomfield. Oh, she'll be quite happy with that. Well, Karen Hema finishes right on the centre line. So you've been around the Bowls Centre a while now, Gerard. So the equipment now that Bowls New Zealand can bring in the way of bringing live coverage, it's right up there, isn't it?
Oh, it certainly is. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And also, one of the things is the facilities at the club itself.
Oh, absolutely.
You need somewhere to sit. You need somewhere to house all the stuff. And there are not that many clubs that are set up for that. And certainly, Auckland Bowling Club here is nicely set up.
Well, the way how it's set up now, the way how the production thing is all set up now, this can all just be picked up and put into a Sky package, direct straight onto Sky.
Right.
Which is a big plus. So here's Olivia Bloomfield, a couple down on the head, hard head to play, and again that's going to more than likely stay out on that wider side because trying to get that draw because of the front.
One. Just the weight.
Yeah, it was. Now, is it 3?
2 or 3?
No one wants to tell us, but it looked like 3 from where we were, from our position, because that bowl of Karen Hema's that got that rather fortuitous slide, that would certainly have counted. So 6 ends gone of 18 in this final between the Newland combination of Paris Baker leading and Olivia Bloomfield skipping up against the Carlton Cornwall side of Lisa Bradot leading and Karen Hema skipping, and it was a 2.
7-4.
7-4 after 6 ends. The scoreboard's been done outside, that's correct. And 3/4 length head. And Lisa Rideau, I know it's only early stages of the match, but has been pretty consistent on her backhand draw. Of course, that's assisted, of course, by a consistent delivery. Can give you consistent outcomes.
Yeah. I understand.
And this is going to finish just slightly high of the jack, but coming back towards the centre lines, more than likely got a metre. And Olivia Blomfield on this, going this particular way, is going to go back to that backhand side. Here is Olivia Blomfield with Carlton Cornwall leading 7 shots to 4 after 6 of 18 ends. As we watch this bowl of Paris Bakers just go by the jack with a wee bit of weight on, had a bit of carry weight on there. And Lisa Rideau will know that she'll want to she's now got the back bowl in early, not deliberately, but has got the back bowl in. Now Lisa can draw to the jack
She didn't
with
like that
confidence.
very much.
She doesn't. She certainly gives a good body language, and you can see why, because on her standard would be disappointed. Was
Good
finished.
weight. Just took the line off.
Had good weight, missed that line, and of course it's opened the door now for the lead for Paris Baker now on that backhand, to draw down on that backhand. And of course also going on here is the junior 1 to 5 pairs. Now, is that at quarter-final stage now? Is it, where are we?
No, they're round of 16.
They're round of 16?
Yeah, round of 16.
So that'll finish when?
The quarterfinals today, and then semi-final and final on the 4th of June.
Right, so the Karen Hema, Lisa Rideau combination, really, they led off with that second bowl of Paris Bakers, coming up short, quite considerably short. So here's Rideau now on that back end. Ooh, there's that Grimmage again, and we watch it. Needs to get past the front bowl of Paris Baker, needs to get clear past the bowls. Going to do so, and will draw down towards the jack and sits right in behind the jack.
She had a grimace on her face, but I think it was a smile more than a grimace.
So Paris Baker down on the head, more than likely at least 1, maybe 2 down, but the big thing here for Baker is to endeavour to draw second shot, and looks to be under the line all the way with it, and is going to be under the line.
Come on, Karen, you've got to add to your tally here. It's a spread out head, isn't it?
It is, but you know the good thing with the Carlton Cornwall side though is that they have got 1 on, 1 over, so it does, and really where the shot bowl is sitting, what you're really saying to the opposition, well, we'll beat other bowls, and you've got to get rid of that bowl.
Right.
And whilst you're doing that, the numbers should be stacking up.
Mm. Yeah, it's just surprising how loose Paris was on this end.
So here's Karen Hema out on the wider side, coming down past the Paris Baker bowl. Lisa Rideau's interested in this bowl. Is it going to get past all the way cleanly?
That's all she has to do, just beat the pink one. That's it.
And finishes just outside that of the centre line.
Second shot.
And looking out the window here would more than likely count. So the pressure on for Olivia Blomfield to draw something close. I can see one of the stalwarts of bowls out there, how unusual, Ivan Zonit's giving directions to the president of Auckland Bowls, no doubt telling him about something's wrong, and this is what I would do. So here is Paris Baker. Zonich, of course.
Where's Zonich?
One in New Zealand.
Oh, there he is.
Yes, one in New Zealand Force title.
Yes, he has. Yes.
So here's now good attempt here. This is a great attempt here from Olivia Bloomfield endeavouring to draw down to the jack around the front bowls and does so. Falls in, will make shot of it. Now, Karen Hema, let's see your game management here. Because the shot is playing under the bowl of the shot, the jack, the trail.
Similar to what she did in the semi-final.
And it's a backhand shot to me that try and get that result. Danger is you try and steer on the other hand. Trying to get down to the bowl on the forehand, hard shot. And all that's going to do is, that's Paris Baker bowl knocked up, I think, would it be?
Yeah.
So I just thought on the other hand, but prior to that, Gerard, there's two bowls sitting back there. You can face the bowl out playing down, and that bowl that's lower the jack is a great backhand line to play under there and get jack movement.
But that's the exact shot that Karen played in the semi-final to pick up the 3. I'm surprised that she played a backhand, tried to pick it off underneath.
Well, and I'm sure it'll look more attractive from the mat as a good bowl. Another bowl coming in here from Olivia Bloomfield and goes in behind the head. And
yeah, see that you can't do that trail now. You're really limiting yourself as to the type of shot you can play. So Karen Hemmer's played. Looks like she's played it narrow. Yeah. She over-adjusted for the
wasted bowl, really, Gerard. You know, and of course the danger of even playing that shot on that hand could easily have got to the shot bowl but shunted the Lisa Bordeaux bowl out of the head as well.
Right.
So it's about percentages, and that's why I would still favour that.
But the wrong shot was played 3 bowls ago.
Absolutely.
It wasn't played the last bowl.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the things I've said, and I've spoken to Mike Kernan about this, the Bowls New Zealand high performance manager, and just the one that players should go back if they're competitive players. I suggest them to go back and look at some of these games.
Yes.
They can look at their delivery, look at how they manage the head, shot options, shot play, etc. And I think as well, with this great innovation that we have now got, it can assist players as well in looking at their performances, especially those competitive players who are in, say, representative sides or aspiring to get into representative sides. When you've got games that have been live streamed, to improve, don't look at the result, look at what, go in and have a look.
There's not much coaching actually on shot selection. You know, there's a lot of emphasis on shot execution, but actually shot selection to start with.
Well, this is where I feel players, as things progress, the likes of Leif Selby can offer so much to the players about, and I use Mike Kernan as a classic example because Mike's shot selection that he plays at the highest level is really about that of highest percentage and consistency. And so often we'll see ineffective bowls trying to play low percentage shots.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not the shot you play then, it's the shot that gets played before.
Right.
And as you rightly said, if we talk about game management, shot selection, Karen Hema should have played the other hand earlier on.
Correct. Yep.
So still a metre to draw for Lisa Bordeaux. Paris Baker falling low at the jack with her second, as did Lisa Bordeaux with her first. And here is now Bordeaux on that forehand. Just notice how the hand stays still, the head stays still, and this is the result that you'll get.
There you go. Yeah.
And it does make a difference.
Yeah, sure does. Yeah. Yeah.
So we're all, of course, 7-5 to Karen Hema and Lisa Bordeaux.
See if we can find our runner again. I'll get an
I
update
thought
on
I
the
just saw someone, I was hoping going out to do that. So he is
Certainly,
trying to get to the shot bowl is Paris Baker, and does so. It's a great bowl from Baker, although not shot, but opened the head up though. That moved that shot bowl right off the jack, and just gives that opportunity now for her to attack the head. So here is again Lisa Bordeaux with her third bowl on this, the 8th end of 18, coming back to the centre line. Meter over the head. And they change over. As holding shot is the Carlton Cornwall combination, who are leading 7 shots to 5. Congratulations too to the Taranaki combination. Craig DeFaria of the Paratutu Club and Gavin Scrivener have won at the PBA, have won the World Peers final down there in Dunedin. And to Aidan Zitterstein, who of course plays out of the Paratutu Club in New Plymouth and will be representing the Cook Islands again at the Commonwealth Games, remembering he was a bronze medalist in the Peers at the Commonwealth Games on the Gold Coast, and has just won the international singles, which will see DeFaria, Scrivener and Aidan Zitterstein with opportunities to go to the UK and play in the World Bowls event final, or the World PBA event finals. Here we go. So we've got 10 ends gone in the Ellerslie game. That's the Danny Delaney skip side with David Modu. 10 ends gone. They're playing the Balmoral side of Scott Harrison and Tony Marinkovic. And it is Delaney and Motu who are leading 8 shots to 6. After 9 ends in the other semi-final, the St Heliers combination of Richard Kempthorne and Roger Johnson up against the Carlton Cornwall combination of Lace Selby skipping and James Williams, the defending champions. I can tell you it is the Carlton combination after 9 ends who are leading 12-3.
And I can just see that Carlton Cornwall game there. Looks like Carlton Cornwall's holding 4 on the head.
So here is Karen Heemer with playing down to the Lisa Perot counting bowl. Needs to sit inside the finishes, literally jack level. Does it count? 2 it is. Just saw Paris Baker indicating that it was 2 down. Bloomfield now looking to go to her forehand to draw down to those counting bowls. That's the Newland skip as we play in 8 of 18. It's on its way on the forehand. How far is it going to come back? Breaking back now towards the head. Is it going to get all the way down to that counting area?
Didn't have the weight.
Didn't have the weight. It was on a great line. It was on a magnificent line to get down to where the counting bowls were. And 7-5, and holding 2, I think, are the Carlton Cornwall combination. So on the forehand is Karen Heemer. Got the opportunity here to add to the head. As I watch it
nicely.
now, breaking into the head. Has it gone too far?
Nice toucher.
May have gone too far. We'll see.
Shouldn't have. It's in front of the purple one at the back.
2.
Is that all?
I'm sure that's what I heard Lisa Prideaux
optically
comment.
Elusive from here, eh? 2.
So we'll just confirm that. If it is 2, of course, it takes the Carlton Cornwall side to a 9-5. At the halfway mark, are we? Yes, or 8 ends gone. So Jack's been delivered right down to that 2 metre mark. Again, be right on the 2 metre. It is. So no doubt we'll see Lisa Bordeaux on her backhand. Just waiting for Paris Baker just changing that scoreboard. Karen Hema applauding fairly early. Yeah. Sits right on the
ditch.
right on the ditch, right on the ditch board, right behind the head. Might have clapped a bit early, Karen, actually.
Sometimes you get them there and sometimes you don't.
So, Paris Baker, who has struggled a wee bit recently, will be endeavouring to try and give her skip, Olivia Bromfield, a good start.
This is looking better.
And we'll finish lower the jacks.
You can
We've
see
got a metre.
The line is nice. There's nothing wrong with the line, just a fraction weighty and not enough weight.
So Lisa Bradot she'll be taking her line between what is her bowl and the jack, which would give her that metre on the backhand. And it's out. There's sort of a patch out there, isn't there, Gerard? That, and really you need to be.
I'm not sure why they persist on that side of the green, that side of the rink. I mean, it's a little bit patchy there. I thought the other side would have been a nice kind of roll.
Well, Prado being a preferable backhand lead, that's because of the arc that she gets on her bowl, and the line is really not quite where this line where Paris Baker is, but pretty much just going to depend on the weight. Now, if you see that bowl of Paris Baker's there's a greeny patch through just in that patch, and that literally seems to be the line right to the centre line. And Olivia Bromfield, although being weighty, she's been sort of just slightly outside that. Just needs to adjust with this her third bowl on N9, the halfway mark. So there's no grimmage, there's nothing, and has adjusted that line, but I don't think she's adjusted the weight. I don't think she's adjusted the weight.
No, she hasn't. Second shot.
Will be second shot. That's the right, Gerard. That's the sort of fortunate thing that one got out of it. But should be disappointed with those three bowls with the Carlton Cornwall skip. And as you said, in the men's pairs semi-final, it's Danny Delaney of Ellerslie leading Scott Harrison of Balmoral 8-6 after 10 ends, and Leif Selby, the defending champion of Carlton Cornwall, leading Richard Kempthorne of St Heliers 12-3 after 9 of 18 ends in these semi-finals. And we will be bringing you, after the completion of these men's semi-finals, we'll be bringing you the live coverage of the men's final. And please, if you just go to the Auckland Bowls website or tell your neighbours, friends, club mates, whatever, put it up on the bar in the club, just go to the Auckland Bowls website. All the links are there, and you can get on to all of the live streaming action. So Karen Heeman now on her forehand, 2 down, needs to get a bowl close on the head after Lisa Prado failed with her 3, 2 over the head and 1 short. So here's this bowler, Heemers. This is on a pretty good line, this bowl of Karen Heemers. How far is it going to run? Still had a metre of run.
One bowl width.
Be close to second shot, I would say, looking at the triangle there. There's still plenty of room for Olivia Blomfield and these are these ends where all of a sudden it can change just like that. And, the big thing for Karen Heemer is with the 9-5 lead, if I don't get the shot, I'm going to make sure that I get second shot so that one drops no more than one. Blomfield is going to be under the line. Is going to get past this bowler. Needs to get past the bowler. Does so.
Falls back out.
But falls back out. Can't quite see that. Oh, could well. But let's just concentrate on Karen Heemer getting second shot. That's the big thing for Karen Heemer. Don't try and write a chapter of your book, Karen. Just draw second shot. That's all you've got to concentrate on. If you get the shot, that happens to be a bonus. Second shot right now is the best shot in the book. So here is Karen Hema just wanting to adjust her weight slightly by a metre. Got the bowl on a pretty good arc. Is it going to get past? Well, if it gets it, that would be second shot. And I think I'd be happy to be in that position, really, Gerard, to get second shot.
Yeah, second shot's good for now. Still got one bowl left.
Yeah, but it was important she got second shot with that bowl.
Yeah, she didn't want to waste her bowl.
Didn't want to be struggling then with the third bowl. Does give her a chance, of course, then with her last bowl, the Karen Hema, if she's fortunate enough to get a touch on the jack or do something like that. It does. This looks tight, this bowl of...
short as well.
Of Olivia Blomfield. And just ran into it, Lisa Prideaux bowl. Karen Hema, yeah. Karen, you've got second shot. There's nothing really to look at.
Yeah.
You're 9-5 up. Another end gone. If you happen to draw the shot, you draw the shot, but you've got second shot. And then asking yourself, can I drop 3 or 4 with Olivia Blomfield's last bowl? Key thing, get another bowl on the head, and then you eliminate the opportunity, possibly, if it's there, for Olivia Blomfield to score a number. So, Karen Hema making her way back to the mat. Long, and been a member of the Auckland representative side for a long time. So we'll see now on the mat is Hema going to her backhand.
Took a bit of a run.
I really don't know what this shot is.
Neither do I.
For the life of me, can you tell me what that shot was?
No, I can't. To me, the shot was a draw. Just draw back in again, like she did with her other 2 bowls. The gap between the bowl and the jack is 2 bowls long.
It comes back to what we were talking about before, and in fact what Leif Selby and myself were talking about in the lunch break. Gerard, it's really about game management and shot selection and strategy when you're leading on the board, so to speak. You know, that was my view. That wasn't the shot to play at all.
No. It'd be interesting to ask Karen what went through her mind on that shot. What was she? Well, what was her objective?
The point is, the hand she played, Gerard, you can't get the shot bowl.
Certainly not on her backhand. No. Her risk was that she was going to take her own bowl out.
She's going to flick her own bowl completely out of the head.
Yeah. There must be one away.
So if you were going to play that weight, you'd certainly play it on the other hand, wouldn't you?
Correct. Yes.
You know, that's about that. Shot selection. So another one to 9-6 now. 9-6 to the Carlton Cornwall combination of Karen Hema skipping with Lisa Prideaux leading 9-6 after 9 of the 18 ends at the halfway mark. In this final of the Hunters Bowls champion of champion pairs, and of course Auckland Bowls are indebted to Hunter Bowls for their support of our sport. And there's Olivia Blomfield really trying to encourage that bowl of Paris Bakers to get it up to the jack. There's a metre, and the jack right out in front of us here. I can see it's about half a metre low of the 2 metre mark. So here's now Prideaux on her forehand, and I can see the bowl of Paris Bakers is about 6 feet lower than Jack. So watch this bowl of Lisa Prideaux's just go by the Jack.
Why would Lisa change her hand? Different side of the green though. It's coming the other way. But never mind, she still changed her hand.
So here is Paris Baker trying to improve on her first. Is she going to? It's certainly out on that wider arc or sit inside the jack. It's going to finish jack level. And now Lisa Prideaux.
Something to aim at now, Lisa.
Well, she knows.
You got your weight. Yeah.
Lisa knows if she's inside that line, she's going to finish right to the centre line.
Yep. And
literally to the 2 metre tee. So here is Lisa Prideaux winner of New Zealand pairs on 2 occasions with Val Smith. And watching this bowl coming down towards me now in the commentary position, coming down towards the head and will be shot. Still 2 feet lower the jack though, but right on the centre line. And the bowl of Paris Bakers is sitting jack level, about a metre. Just needs, and the thing for Paris Baker now, just try and beat her last jack level bowl. Certainly brought a line in with this bowl. How's the weight? Coming down towards the head now. Now it will break. It'll break towards the centre line and it'll get right down towards the 2 metre mark. And Karen Hema indicating it's still shot to Prideaux. So Alicia Prideaux now will try and draw up to that safely, to that third bowl of Paris Baker. Sits inside that bowl and she's got a good accounting bowl and a bowl over the head as we play in 10 of 18. Karen Hema's down on her haunches, trying to encourage the bowl to the head. And, well, clapping.
Yeah,
beats, it counts.
Looks like a 2.
It is 2. I'm looking right in front of me at the window, and it is 2.
Just that pink bowl of Paris's looks, on the screen, looks a lot closer than probably what it is then.
Well, it's the good thing for Olivia Bloomfield is really the jack level bowl of Paris Bakers. If Olivia makes that bowl literally jack and she's just inside that, we'll be close to having shot. In fact, would have shot. So here's now Olivia Bloomfield. In fact, playing on the backhand and trying to get past the 2 counting bowls of Lisa Prideaux's to get to the jack.
Ducking under or not?
Cuts the line, of course, and trying to get the jack and move it around the corner. Done so. It was always on.
Your forehand's your shot though, Karen. Coming up onto the pink.
Ditch weight down through the bowls is the go for Hema. Of course, the back bowl sitting there for the Lisa Prideaux bowl. So she'll run with weight down through there. Picking that after the jack movement. Lisa Prideaux should be, Karen Hema should be able to see that. Question that weight out of the hand on the line that she's going to play to get to that area. Lisa Prideaux's looking at it closely as it's coming down towards the jack. As it's coming down towards the jack.
Oh.
Just goes by.
Well, that's the shot to play. That's the right hand. That's the right weight.
Well, it'll be interesting to see now with Olivia Bloomfield. Really needs to get another bowl on the head, because if she doesn't, then of course Karen Hema can pick her own weight, because if she was fortunate enough to get the jack, the New Lynn side don't have a bowl over the head. But this is going to be.
It's going to go in the ditch.
Stays up.
Stays up.
Stays up.
Okay.
Great bowl. Eliminates that other shot now. So now just Karen Hema trying to just improve on her last. Only needs a slight adjustment. All but got the jack on the backhand. Did Hema with her second bowl. And Lisa Prideaux's taking a pretty keen interest in this as it comes down towards the head and the jack and a front toucher and moves the jack. A front toucher. Well played. Well played by the skip.
So it's remarkable that Karen Hema draws some beautiful, beautiful bowls. And then every now and again she does something strange and takes a run at the head.
Somewhat unpredictable game management. I don't know how much of the bowl that Olivia Bloomfield can actually see from the mat. It looks as though she can from our position here, but with the jack being moved in the 2 front bowls, not sure what her line to the jack is, but we'll see here. Here's Bloomfield now on the mat and playing with searching weight to the jack, remembering that she's got the back bowl with her second bowl, looking closely at the jack and got it. 2 shots. Well played. And just with that,
might even have 3. Is it that Olivia's bowl
there's a bowl of
there's a pink one there. So
and there's a bowl of Lisa Bordeaux's sitting up 2.
Is Lisa's in the ditch? Sorry. No. I meant Olivia's in the ditch with the jack.
Sitting alongside it by the number.
In the ditch? And the one on the bank is still alive too? Or is there just nothing in the ditch?
I don't know what they're coming to look at. You're at least 2 down. And you always look a bit silly if you spend half an hour looking at these and then fall short.
The toucher didn't go in the ditch, but they didn't mark it.
Yeah, the toucher is you can sitting. Well,
the jack is where the bottle is.
Yeah, I thought I saw her indicate too.
Sure
I thought Lisa Bordeaux, but what happened, of course, I'm not saying luck, but that first bowl of Olivia's just managed to sit up on the ditch board literally, and certainly allowed her to play. You can see there it is, just sitting mere centimetres off that the ditch board, and of course allowed that shot to be played on the back end. Now is Hema. Definitely down on the head. And is leading 9-6. Really trying to get second shot as the object here. Needs to stop now. And won't. So
1-2.
We'll see the board change in but a moment. I thought I saw Lisa Bordeaux signal 2. I may be wrong. We've had now 10 of the 18 ends gone. 9.
No. Sorry.
Board to be changed.
Board still to change.
And 9-6. Yeah, Lisa Bordeaux now going up to change the board. Well controlled shot there from Olivia Bloomfield. Played to get the jack and got the jack cleanly. And it was 2-9-8. Now 9-8 after 10 ends. 10 of 18 ends. So here is now Paris Baker. Very good shot from Olivia Bloomfield. And really that was a big turnaround because it could have been 2 down.
Yeah, correct.
Yep. So really a four-shot turnaround. And her lead responds accordingly. Does Paris Baker, draws a toucher. On the back end, drew the toucher. See spits of rain out there now.
It's spits of rain, eh?
We're fortunate with this fantastic equipment of Bowls New Zealand that we sit inside. Gone are the days where we sit under umbrellas and all that sort of stuff. We are fortunate now that we're able to sit inside and watch all the action. As you watch Lisa Bordeaux just coming down, goes by the jack. Certainly had a very good line to get to the jack, and out go the camera umbrellas. So on the backhand is the Newland lead, Paris Baker. Just looks to have, it's coming good again. Just going to go by the line because the jack's been moved, so that's fine. And for Lisa Bordeaux, it's really just drawing to that centre line, that line with Hema just in behind the jack. Karen Hema indicating where she'd like the bowl. And this going to hold up long enough to get to the jack. Is it going to hold up long enough to get to the jack? Yes, it did. It slid past.
It slid past, all right.
Looked as though it was going to...
Still 2 down?
Yeah, looked as though Gerard was going to sit on the jack. That's what it looked like. It looked like a jack touch. So 2 very good bowls from Paris Baker, the Newland lead. Got the bowl out on that wider side. to try and move it back to the centre line or behind the head, and it's going to do just that. That's 3 well-played bowls from the Newland player. 2 on, 1 over the head, right on the centre line. Don't get much better than that. So Karen Hema indicating to Lisa Bordeaux. And Mark Cameron, the CEO of Bowls New Zealand, he's over there somewhere playing in the round of 16, is that right?
That's right, yes.
In the Auckland Bowls, representing Ponsonby.
Representing Ponsonby, correct. Yeah, had 3 good wins yesterday in qualifying.
So here is this bowl of Bordeaux's trying to get to the jack as it gets a touch on something, and well, there it is.
No, sprung the jack back.
And got shot.
It's got the shot. It looks well. That's what it looks like from here. I can't
actually see the gap between the front bowl of Paris Baker and the jack, but certainly whatever it is, it's only one to somebody.
Well, it certainly looks like the jack has sprung back to Lisa's bowl. That's what it looks like.
So here is Olivia Bloomfield, who played that magnificent jack trail on the last end. Mark that end down. What was that? End 10.
End 10, yeah.
It was a big 2 that they scored, actually, that superb bowl. And trying hard again here, trying to get down. With that weight, Gerard, it certainly appears that it is the Lisa Bordeaux bowl, that shot. Where, that was sort of like searching weight to get to the jack or bowl. I see Tamara's out there on top of the fence now. Our production boss, I see putting a cover over the camera. And the big thing here for Karen Hema is to stay out, be generous on the wide side, not skimpy on the narrow side. Well,
I think picking up the jack would have been
okay.
Well,
picking the jack up would have been absolutely fine.
Yeah.
I agree, absolutely.
Would have dragged that back, yeah.
But if you're going away from the jack...
no.
And so the trail, absolutely. Nothing wrong with getting that trail. Gerard, totally. On the backhand now is Olivia Blomfield, who played down with weight, trying to reach before. And it is, of course, 9.
Well, it looks short and narrow this time.
It is. It's the Hema Bordeaux combination, leading 9-8 as we play end 11 of this Hunter Bowls Champion Women's Peers final at the Auckland Bowling Club. In this picturesque park-like environment here. Cloudy conditions, but we'll be fine. We'll get through the day. As Hema got out on it, it's certainly, there's a big pull there at the finish, Gerard. And you've seen that bowl of Karen Hema's go. Well, I thought we were going to, yes, I did see it spring right across the head. So here's this update from the Carlton Cornwall, the Leif Selby combination. Tightened up a wee bit now. 13 ends gone, and it's Leif Selby and James Williams leading Richard Kempthorne and Roger Johnson by 13 shots to 8, 13-8 to the defending champions. All tied up, very close now in the Balmoral-Ellerslie game. After 14 ends, it's the Ellerslie combination of Danny Delaney and the young David Motu, who lead the Balmoral combination of Scott Harrison and Tony Marinkovic by 12 shots to 11 after 14 of 18 ends. So Carlton Cornwall leading 13-8 after 13 ends, and Ellerslie leading 12-11 after 14 ends. As we watch there, that's way off target and flipped the...
Is that a Paris bowl or a Lisa bowl?
I'm sure that was Karen Hema's
Karen Hema
bowl that was off target before, off draw line. And now has got the opportunity, certainly,
to add 3.
To make 3, one would
even
think.
Drag back.
Well, it's out on that wider side. Is it going to beat this front? That's what it's got to do. It's got to beat this front. Get to the jack. It's going to do so. Does so. Let's see.
1, 2.
There's 2 come out. Just looking now at that third. Definitely 2. Calling the umpire, are they straight away? Is that what they're doing? Or hasn't one of them got a measure?
Looking for the tape.
And definitely 2. So Well played bowl, that last one of Karen Heemer's, and it
Oh, yeah, going for the tape. Yeah.
was a wee bit awkward from our angle to judge the front bowl, actually how far lower the jack that it is, but two have been taken out.
I think the pink one's closer.
Well, that's a pretty good percentage.
I'll take a bet on the pink one.
So there's going to the back bowl. Karen Heemer bowl is Paris Baker. Now going to her own bowl. Looks like 3. Just the way how that measure seemed to indicate.
Yeah, she indicated 3. Yep.
And we'll see that scoreboard change in but a moment. And it is. It's 12-8. 12-8 now after 11 of 18 ends. That's the Carlton-Cornwall combination of Lisa Bordeaux leading and Karen Heemer skipping. Bit fortuitous with that third one, getting the square cut.
Oh, yes, that was unfortunate on Olivia's part. Yeah.
Off target with a weighted shot, and in fact just got the outside of the off target bowl of Karen Heemer's and sliced it back into. You don't see it very often where it gets sliced back in, back into the head, and finished up a counter, and then threw another with a last.
It's a real snooker shot, isn't it?
It certainly was. 12-8 after 11 ends. So watch this first bolt of Lisa Bordeaux is going to finish lower the jack on the centre line. It's about 2'6". I'm just looking out, can't quite see out the window here. Got obscured now. Paris Baker now on her forehand. 18 ends, of course, 2.5 hour time limit on these matches, and when this game
finals 3.5 hours.
Finals 3.5 hours.
Finals 3.5.
Goodness, tomorrow. I hope it doesn't go 3.5 hours. Very good opening bowl there from Paris Baker, sitting right in behind the jack on the centre line. Needs Lisa Bordeaux. You want to improve her weight by a metre. So here is Bordeaux now endeavouring to get to the shot bowl. Karen Heemer.
Yeah, looks like narrow and short.
Finishes literally jack level. So Paris Baker, we put in it similar to a first. There you can see the Paris Baker bowl sitting locked literally right on top of the jacks. Going to now come under the centre line with a second. And Lisa Bordeaux just want to improve.
Yeah, there's room in there to draw, actually.
Well, absolutely.
Even though you can't see it from this angle. The gap between the jack and the bowl's about a bowl.
So
plenty of room just to sit in there.
Lisa Bordeaux on her forehand. As said by Gerard, there's room to get in between the bowl and the jack.
No, narrow and short.
Karen. Yes, Karen is very supportive of every bowl.
She is, yeah. Leif is the same. Leif is very supportive of every bowl as well.
Mate,
yeah.
May I tell you, the Australians clap the jack going up.
No, I just say that because I know Leif is in the Champ Triples next week, and he's playing for Carlton Cornwall, but he's got two basically what you call roll-up bowlers.
We've got one
playing.
sitting over there, I think. Was sitting out there.
Oh yeah, Peter Whiting was sitting out there.
Now he's a story on his own, isn't he?
He is a story on his own. Yeah.
For those who don't know, Peter is he's in the para.
Discipline squad, but in the discipline squad, but he's not a New Zealand rep.
No. But he plays his game literally on a motorised scooter.
Correct. Yep.
And used to play his bowls at Rawati when he was
able-bodied.
When he was able-bodied.
Yeah.
And has his condition sort of deteriorated. He hasn't lost his enthusiasm or
No.
wish to play bowls. And so here's Hema now trying to make contact with the 2 shot bowls of Paris Bakers. Needs to come back now, might get one. And that's a good bowl from Karen Hema. Made contact with the head, opened it up, leaves room now to draw. And also a big compliment to Leif that you know, to be playing with these guys. They'd be loving the opportunity to play with them.
Yeah.
And there he is out there.
There is, you know, he said, I just want to play with some regular club mates, is what he said.
And that's the sort of guy that he is.
Picked those 2 up out of the draw, basically, or a random draw of some club mates, and he picked them up. And, they won the club champ triples, of course, but I cry because they beat me in the semi-final. we were up 11-10, and then we dropped to 2. So
yeah, it's great to see that you know
makes you spit.
Peter has been I don't know if he still is, but was in the real estate industry.
Yeah, I think he's given that up now.
Is he?
Yeah,
Right, he
was a top real estate agent for Harcourts, I think.
I remember him being in the real estate industry.
Yeah.
So
he was a roofer as well. That's what he started off as, doing roofing, and he's fell off the roof of a house. And he tells the story himself. He said it wasn't falling off the roof that buggered him up; it was hitting the ground.
So here, trying to make contact, is Karen Hema with the target. Playing with weight, needs to get inside the Olivia Blomfield job. Bowl, tip her own over, did so for shot.
Oh, well done. She signals. 1 down, yeah. Lisa signaled 1, and
it was a well played bowl there from Karen Hema. And looking out the window now, I can see, yes, it looks the front bowl of Karen Hema certainly looks the shot. Olivia Blomfield now with her second bowl on this, the 11th end. Very deliberate look. Playing with weight, trying to drive the bowl out of the head. Went by,
eh?
Yeah, Karen Hema now needs to, there's the draw position.
Just draw around the front bowl.
So
draw up to the pink. You don't need the jack, you need the pink.
Well, don't worry about that one because
That's ours.
You're not going to be playing that hand, Karen. Oh, well, I would hope not. Well, you are.
Well, the percentage shot is that front bowl is our bowl.
Turn it over.
If you turn it over, yeah. If by accident you turn it over, don't aim for it, but if by accident
Correct.
you turn it over.
And certainly out on the, needs to come back now and is going to do so. So it's got the weight to get all the way down. Is going to. Just going to go by that, but it's another bowl on the head. And really for the Carlton Cornwall side, if they can hold on to one and another head's completed going their way, just makes it, it's far from over, but just gives them a wee bit of a buffer. Deep sigh from Olivia Blomfield on the mat.
But if you look at the target that Olivia's got, is all those pinks in there. It's hard to know which is which, isn't it?
Bit of a Spanish wall there.
Yeah.
On the backhand is Blomfield playing with that weight again. There it is, swinging away.
Swing away, Anna. It's 2.
And we'll see. Definitely the Carlton got the mat as Lisa Bordeaux again, another end gone. We're now at 12 ends completed.
I didn't see any signal, 1 or 2.
So just to reconfirm to you, in the men's semi-final, last update, Carlton Cornwall, that's the Leif Selby skip side, up against the St Heliers sides, the Richard Kempthorne skip side. It's Carlton leading 13-8, and 14 and 12-11 to Ellerslie was the last update in that men's pairs. A one it was on the 11th end to the Carlton combination of Olivia Blomfield and of Karen Hema and Lisa Prideaux. They now lead by 13 shots to 8, 13-8 after 12 of 18. Now it's been the jack has been certainly delivered to a shorter length than what had been played, but Prideaux on her favoured backhand. And as Gerard said before, also action here, live action here, of course, is the 1 to 5. 1 to 5 as well, pair's been played. And as Gerard said to me, they're playing a round of 16 now. They'll play one more round, is that correct, Gerard?
That's correct.
To have the 8 and then on to a later date, semi-final and finals. And very, very enlightening to hear of an entry of 56 combinations who lined up yesterday in this event. And here's the latest update now. Carlton Cornwall, after 15 of 18 ends, the defending champions, that being Lace Shelby and James Williams, leading the St Heliers combination of Richard Kempthorne and Roger Johnson, now 17 shots to 8 after 15. In the Ellerslie Balmoral game, that's anybody's at this stage. 16 ends completed, and it's the Ellerslie combination of Danny Delaney and David Motu who lead the Balmoral combination of Scott Harrison and Tony Rinkovich by 13 shots to 12 after 16 of the 18 ends. So back to this women's final, and another good bowl coming into the head from
Like the
Lisa Prideaux, sitting just one sitting right behind, one's now sitting right on the jack. But in saying that, the bowl of Paris Baker's is only just in behind the jack on the backhand side, where Baker will quickly get into her work on that backhand side. A touch on the jack certainly would favour the Newlands side. Seen Karen Heemer the last couple of ends, played a couple of big bowls, not quite going to get to the head is Paris Baker. So Karen Heemer indicating to Lisa Prideaux,
don't be short.
Don't be short. Through. If you're over, that's fine. And really, Lisa Prideaux may well take her line is outside her own bowl.
Yeah.
To get back to the centre line and be a metre and a bit behind the head, just to give some coverage of any jack movement, etc. But I'm sure that we'll see Olivia Bloomfield will certainly be playing with some sort of reaching weight to try and get to the jack.
There's no doubt she's gone wider.
She's certainly gone wider, and by goodness, we picked that pretty good.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? We certainly did.
That was a far better shot than trying to draw to the head.
Well, she's got one. She doesn't need anything else.
Absolutely.
It's just to sit there. There's a little bit of cover.
Well, you don't always have to. You don't have to have too many shots when you're in front.
No, correct.
So,
but you have to be in control, and that's what they are.
Paris Baker now trying to correct on her second bowl. Got one sitting in behind the head on that backhand side. Just not going to get all the way back. Gets a touch on the bowl. And
just push the pink one back further.
Well,
just makes it.
The Carlton Cornwall combination will be quite happy with how that head's actually sitting.
I think so.
Because the draw for Karen Heemer out to the pink bowl out to the side, the Paris Baker bowl, is good. And they've got the deepest bowl on the rink as well. So the head is set up pretty well for the Carlton Cornwall side. 3 bowls each, of course, so a lot can change. So on the forehand is Karen Heemer. How's this line though? It'll cut away now. You saw from the bowls of Lisa Prideaux, she's going to sit on the Prideaux bowl, tip it over.
Tips it, gets a little bit of a wick behind, eh?
You'll certainly see a different line in the 2 bowls between Lisa Prideaux and Karen Heemer. They definitely 2 different lines, because what Olivia Bloomfield's got to be careful of here, she doesn't want to dislodge or move her bowl sitting on the head there, and she'll be endeavouring to play up to the bowls. You know, with 3 bowl pairs, if you are down and you can get reduction with your first bowl, it certainly gives you more shot options for bowls 2 and 3. The big thing is not to waste your first bowl.
Right.
So on the forehand, she's following that line, and
that's narrow and short.
Yeah, needs to be playing with literally wait back to the Lisa Bordeaux bowl really, and
But you're right. She doesn't want to overcompensate and take her own bowl out.
no. So Karen Hema leading by 13 shots to 8 as we play in 13 on her forehand. The Carlton Cornwall player. As we watch this bowl, that's certainly under the line, that one. And that's not going to get in the road of anybody. And
No.
so for Olivia Bromfield really now playing her second bowl, it's really the draw is the best percentage option for her, but has gone out on that wider side. How far is the bowl going to come back? How's the weight? Trying hard. Going to finish jack level, falls in. It was a sterling effort from...
I see out the window here that Carlton Cornwall and St Heliers have shaken hands.
So that assumes we've got one finalist.
Yeah. And I presume it was Carlton Cornwall.
I'd buy a lotto ticket on that, to be fair, Gerard. So here's Karen Hema. Now that's, I'm sorry, but that's actually steering the bowl.
Yeah.
The minute when you're finishing under the line like that, and you're playing tentatively in your mind, and you're steering your bowl across the head. And did that bowl of Olivia Bromfield's second bowl, looking on the head, it's a pretty crucial end, this one.
Looking to see if they're 2 or 3 down.
Well, whatever number that she's down, she's got to be drawing confidently to the head. That's
Yeah.
And who knows what can happen, And look, it's easy for me to say that sitting here, but if you talk about trying to get a percentage result, just make sure that you're in the area and you've got a chance. So the defending champions, Leif Selby and James Williams have won their semi-final over Richard Kempthorne and Roger Johnson. On the drive is Bromfield, got nothing. And that really became a bit of a, I'd say, a hope drive. So sounded like 2 in the microphone. Just we'll see in but a moment. And I hear it in the other semi-final. It's Danny Delaney and David Motu leading 14-12 over Scott Harrison and Tony Marinkovic of Balmoral. And I'm just seeing that board being changed. 15-8 now, 15-8 as we go to Ian 14. 15-8, it is the combination of Karen Hema and Lisa Prideaux, leading the New Lynn combination of Paris Baker at lead and Olivia Bromfield skipping as Jack's been delivered up towards the 2 metre mark on the forehand. We'll see the Carlton Cornwall skip and of course winner of the New Zealand Peers on 2 occasions and a semi-finalist 3 years ago. So certainly very good Peers exponent, but won't be happy with this bowl.
She certainly will not be happy with that.
And that Carlton Cornwall game, as you say, has come to a conclusion, 19-8. And really those last 3 ends as well, a 2, a 2 and a 2 to the Carlton side, although they were in front like all the way. And but it was those closing stages which really, dashed any hopes for the St Heliers combination. A toucher here from the young New Lynn lead, Paris Baker. There's the jack you can see just sitting outside the 2 metre tee. Leading 15-8 is the Carlton Cornwall side as we play in 14 of 18.
It's still wide open to draw, though.
Oh, there's still room to draw. So here is Lisa Prideaux, gave the old body signal and looking to it, just going by, more than likely head searching rate, not really I'd say drawing rate. Here's the opportunity here on Ian 14. Paris Baker to put the pressure right back onto the Carlton Cornwall side very early in this head.
Oh, she doesn't like it. She put her head down. She does not like it.
Well, it's still tracking towards the jack area and will be close. Has it got the weight? We'll see in but a moment. No, it hasn't.
No, it doesn't.
So the big thing here, Lisa Prideaux, just concentrate on that 2 metre mark. That's the big thing. Just concentrate on the 2 metre mark and then...
Yeah, don't worry where the jack is or anything else.
Looks like that other pairs game has come to a conclusion. The Danny Delaney, David Modu match looks as though it's all but... We'll wait to get the confirmation of that. It was pretty close. Here's Prideaux on her forehand. We're wanting to improve on her first two, one low and one.
There's a little smile on her face
pass.
as she let that go.
Karen Hema is watching it closely, needs to stop, not going to. Goes by the jack, will sit right under the number down at the 2 metre mark. And here's the chance really for Paris Baker to really put the pressure on at the changeover on this, the 14th of 18 ends. Got the bowl out on a good wide arc as it makes its way back towards the centre line now. And how far is it going to run? Will count for sure. It certainly will. Come back right on the 2 metre mark. Does so. So this is the first time I've really seen Karen Hema, what I would call under
a bit of pressure.
Under real draw pressure.
Yeah.
And the lesson, all I'll say to Karen is that the jack is not inside the line, it's outside the line. So by saying that, making sure you're giving your bowl every opportunity for that natural arc. By goodness, great view right next door to us.
Oh.
They got the big screen up here at the Auckland Bowling Club. On the backhand is Hema. Has got the bowl out on that wider arc. How fast is this? How's the weight? How's the weight?
No,
Weight's not there.
not
Short.
there.
The shortest
Oh, no.
bowl on the rink, is it? No, it's not. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. It's a nice line.
The draw for Karen Hema is between the Lisa Prideaux bowl and the 2 metre mark. That's where the mind concentration needs to be. You try and play before and at low of it, you'll finish low of it. And of course, this has opened the gate up again for the Newland side. Have they taken advantage of it? We watch this bolt. No, she'll be.
No, she's short.
She'll
That's
be
the shortest bolt on the green.
Disappointed with that one.
Yeah.
So now, big bowl now for Karen Hema, jack level. You can see Lisa Prideaux. That's your target, Karen. Not the jack. Up in that area on the back end now is Hema. That big swing. She tends to get in her bowl.
It looks a better bowl than the first one.
This is a better line, this bowl of
No.
Karen Hema's.
Oh, yes.
This is a better line. This is a better line. This bowl of Karen Hema's not going to quite get all the way up. Would still be...
A good second, I think.
Indicated it might only be one. I thought it was still two, but the indication it might just be the one. So, Olivia Bloomfield now endeavouring to add to the count on her forehand. As we play Ian 14 of 18 in this Hunter Bowls Women's Champion Peers final here at the historic and picturesque Auckland Bowling Club as we watch this bowl of Bloomfield's coming down towards the head. Is it going to get by? Doesn't want to get the jack.
Ooh.
Does.
She's run the jack.
What's two?
It depends on, I don't know.
Well, Karen Hema's first bowl was short.
No, whether the white one there is going to beat the pink one. Just optically elusive, that's all. I don't know if you can see.
I can see from here.
Oh,
and I'd be backing
the pink.
Yeah, I'd back the pink. So
right.
It's two very good trail shots that Olivia Blomfield has played, even though they were holding the shot there, but it certainly just make life a wee bit difficult.
That shot that Olivia played and executed is the shot that Karen should have played. And picked up the jack and put it sits there.
Now going for the jack now on the forehand is the Carlton Cornwall player, definitely 2 down on the head, trying to get reduction or the jack, and it was always off target. Really,
just got a nick.
Definitely. Well, I don't know what you got. Well, if you've got another bowl left, Olivia, just go down and draw.
Yeah.
It's
irrelevant who's got second, third or fourth shot.
Absolutely, totally irrelevant.
Yeah.
Let's just play
playing with your mind. Thank you.
So just confirming that Ellerslie match. And it is Ellerslie that are the winners. That's the side of the young fella, David Modu, and the experienced former international player, Danny Delaney, who have defeated the Balmoral side of Scott Harrison and Tony Marinkovic by 15 shots to 12. They now will play the Carlton Cornwall combination of James Williams and Leif Selby in the final after this match has been completed. So here is Olivia Blomfield endeavouring to draw another shot. Definitely I'm looking holding 2. Looking closely, this is Paris Baker as it comes down towards the head. And, well, didn't do a great deal by coming up and really looking. It's interesting, the mat's been pulled out here by the New Lynn combination, taking the mat all the way, quite a distance in fact, up the green, and we'll see where the jack gets delivered to. Just wait for that scoreboard to change over. I think it was the 2. Just wait for, it was 2 as we've played 14 ends. Is that played 14?
Yeah, played 14. Yeah.
So the mat's been pulled up. The rain just started into drizzly rain, overhead rain here at the Auckland Bowling Club. And look, Gerard, I'm speaking early, but I think we're in for a really good final of the men's
cracker of a final
with these 4 players. I think you got the best in action. We've got 2 former international players skipping with Danny Delaney and Leif Selby, one of the up-and-coming youngsters, and David Motu.
Yeah, definitely.
And a pretty consistent performer, and James Williams. So really, it's two good combinations.
Just looking at the semi-final card of Ellerslie versus Balmoral, Ellerslie ran out to a 7-1 lead, and on the 15th end it was 12 all, and then 1-1-1 and 15-12 is the final score. So they hold their nerve. They're
there's a toucher, a running toucher,
done,
I'd call it really, from Lisa Bordeaux, because she actually moved the jack on the trail about 5 feet actually, and it is the jack level bowl of the Newland side. Now this is in the I can tell the nation, in fact. I can tell the nation here in the 1 to 5 pairs also been played here. The side of Point Chevalier. Now, it's interesting. I think my co-commentating man, the trotting man, is in that side.
That's him, yep.
Have defeated the side of the CEO of Bowls New Zealand by 25 shots to 9. That looks what. So Mark
and they
Cameron,
pulled it early.
and that was after 16 years. I'll ask him for a rundown. So good to see Lisa Bordeaux's keeping on her hand, but has it got the weight to get down to sit inside the Jack Level County Bowl going by? Will stay up on the rink, does it?
Who's got the shot, white or pink?
I'd back the Jack Level Bowl at
Pink,
15-10 to Karen Hema and 50 to Lisa Bordeaux, 15-10, and they're playing, of course, the Paris Baker Olivia Bloomfield combination. When we saw on that last end a big turnaround shot played by Olivia Bloomfield when she got movement off the jack. So here is Paris Baker, well under the head. I just hope someone's. I can't work it out why they can't work out. They've got cameras right behind them, and they seem to have this loving tendency to obscure as much as they can. So on the backhand is Lisa Bordeaux, because as we said, winner of the New Zealand pairs on 2 occasions. Doesn't like it out of the hand. Saw that real grimmage. And no, Karen,
Heavy.
that way. Karen Hema doing her utmost to try and stop it, but that's never ever worked. I've never seen that work.
Somebody once told me the last thing they do to a bowl before it leaves the factory is they take off the eyes and the ears.
So true. 15-10, and reminding you that immediately after this final, we will have the men's final, men's Hunter Pairs Champion and Champion men's final, and we will have that between Danny Delaney and David Motu of the Ellerslie Club up against the defending champions, Leif Selby and James Williams of the Carlton Cornwall Club. So back to this final here. I'm just going to ask, can you please ask these clearly, Paris, you just clog it, you can't see them. Can you just ask if they can move over to the side of the head? So here is Olivia Bloomfield, no change in that bowl. It's her first now, and that's going to be under the head and short.
It's still drawable there for Karen.
It is.
So you're drawing out to the pink. You're not drawing into the jack. You're drawing out to the pink, and the pink's got a half a metre, half a mat.
Karen has had the tendency to have that narrow falling line coming down this way, and you're quite right there in what you're saying, Gerard, that she needs to just concentrate on that line to there, let the bowl work at that.
Yeah.
Don't try and encourage the bowl to work. Well, certainly, well, that looked out of the hand on that wider line, but by goodness, her bowls seem to swoop at the finish, don't they?
Depend on their weight.
No,
not the weight. It turned nicely for her, just a metre short.
Interesting that they're going to see Olivia Bloomfield change her hand now. Now the jack's been moved right off the 2 metre mark. This will be interesting to see, because there'll be nothing played down that line throughout the whole as we play N15. So, and getting out into a wee bit of foreign territory out there as well. And there's a very good attempt of Olivia Bloomfield. It's going to finish jack level. And I'm sorry, I can't see anything. So the encouragement here to Karen Hema, needs to get the bowl on a slightly wider line to give it that chance to get down to the jack level bowl, as you rightly say, Gerard. It's drawable to that jack level bowl, isn't it? And that's going to be weight that's going to. And by goodness, that bowl of Olivia Bloomfield's, the second one, was not far away, was it? The jack level bowl from. So you can draw inside that last bowl of hers. Be close to having shot. So Aaron White from Point Chevalier is defeated in the 1-5s, defeated Mark Cameron by 25 shots to 9. And just going to depend on the weight on this. Is he going to get a bit of luck? And thought Mo got the inside slide. And So it's all about improving the draw for Karen Hema. And it's not easy for sure. Jack's been moved off the 2 metre mark. We're playing a full length head and needs to drop inside the bowl of the New Lynn Bowl. So here it is out on her forehand, and how well got it out on that wider line. Has it got the weight to get all the way back? It's coming now. It's coming now. Will it get around the bowl clean and draw the shot? Fall in, it'll be shot.
Oh! I'll take the measure on that, but I favour the Paris Bowl.
By goodness, that was a great effort from Karen Hema and was shot.
Oh, it was shot. Oh.
That was a big shot in the context of the whole match.
A big shot, a big shot.
And drew around the bowl to fall in for shot.
Yep.
Now, did you know, Jared, in the old days on the grass greens, that was quite a common occurrence. They would draw around a bowl and come.
I'll come back.
Yeah,
yeah.
on the old grass greens, you could draw around a bowl and they would come back.
They must have some different weights in the bowl.
Well, of course, we're playing with completely different sort of bowls. Well, in the old days on the 2021 second grass greens and down Central Otago area, and that and especially in Auckland, you used to hear the bowls coming up the green. You'd hear them crinkle on that, because the ends were literally clay, because there's not very much grass left at the right down the deep extremities of the rink, and you would hear the bowls crinkle on the. So good opening bowl here from, no, it's not going to get down, but what a great bowl from Karen Hema. Marked that one down on what was the 14th end, down on the head, and drew that shot around the shot bowl. That, to me, there's been 2 big bowls in this match. That one was the bowl that Olivia Bloomfield played to get the trail shot on that. What end was that? Up here, was it not? Is that the...
Sorry.
Olivia Blomfield up here on the 14th was down on the head, down here, drew the jack right to got the jack in the ditch, and then that bowl.
Oh, that was here.
Was it up there?
That was back there. Yeah.
So the doors open. This is this is sort of, I want to be creative about. This is the kissing end. This one, you get on top of the jack here now, and you're leading by 15 shots to 10 as we play end 16, and by goodness, that really applies the pressure. And past the front bowls is Lisa Burdett. How far is it going to draw back towards the centre line? Coming back now, over the head, a metre or so. Playing right out in front of us here on the 2 metre mark. Is literally on the 2 metre mark is the jack. Just a bit of showery, no wind, just a wee bit of rain going by, but we've still got good sunny skies out to the north, out to the northwest. So Paris Bacon now on in 16, trying to improve on her first. Too short. Here's the Baker bowl, and looks to have had the bowl. Looks narrow though. Again, it's not going to be outside those bowls.
Narrow and short.
And again, this comes to what we were talking about before, Gerard, that the 2 metre mark is anything. It's a metre game here. Anything in that metre area doesn't have to be on top of the jack. If it is on top of the jack, it's just about good night nurse.
Yeah.
So here is Lisa Prideaux. She saw the body language there. Wasn't that keen on it. Karen Hema's clapping. Or Karen, of course.
Too narrow. Too light.
Slide.
Got a little bit of a flick. That'll be the shot, though.
Karen would have clapped the national anthem before the movie started.
I like an encouraging skip.
Oh, so do I. So it is 1 to the Carlton Cornwall side, and see hasn't adjusted. Be really disappointed with that Paris Baker. Really, really, really disappointed with her 3 bowls
Yeah.
on this, the 16th of 18 ends, trailing by 16 shots to 10. And it's really where you need to...
Just sometimes I wonder, during that end for that Paris was playing, it rained. And whether the grip in her hand or something
funny
just affects her.
I saw her with the very, very first bowl, and she was very, very vigorously
Drying
with the towel out on the bowl. And look, sometimes the bowl can start feeling shiny in your hand, and you don't want it to sort of fly out of your hand. And So here is Karen Hema on her backhand as we play end 16. Remembering we'll be bringing the men's final shortly, that between Danny Delaney and David Motor of Ellerslie, up against Leif Selby and James Williams. So here is the Hema bowl. Now, how far is this going to run? If this runs to the jack, it's going to take some beating. There it is, sits right on the 2 metre mark and shot.
That's what you were saying, playing to the 2 metre mark is
absolutely,
where you're
absolutely. Just
anything
aim
short
at
of
the
2 metres.
Just
Anything
aim
short
at
of
the
2 metres useless. Yeah.
And it makes that draw line now for Olivia Blomfield pretty, her options are minimal. No bowls, of course, over the head, but this is a good attempt here from Olivia Blomfield as it comes down towards the jack. Is it going to run all the way? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. A front toucher. Now, let's hope that the Carlton Cornwall side don't go and try and get too technical about this. You're 1 down to a very, very good bowl. You don't want to drop 3. So
no,
just,
you don't.
You can go into end 17, 16-11 in front, still,
It's 5 shots and 2 ends.
It's not easy.
It's not easy.
Well, if you look at the board, what's the big? It was a 4 scored.
It was a 4 way back,
and after that it's been 1s and 2s.
Yeah.
So
there was a 3 down here, but you're right. It's been a tight game either side, either way, by way of scores.
So him trying to explode the head, trying to get down to the shot bowl. By goodness, not going to. Gets the carrot here.
Oh, yeah. She swung it out to the... fortuitous was your word.
Very fortuitous, because that could have collected the Carlton Cornwall bowl out of the head as well. But hey, the whole story, you're up to the head. Anything can happen when you're up to the head, and you take the result when it goes your way. So, and in that case, it certainly favoured the Carlton side. Olivia Blomfield on the draw again, played a really good bowl with a first. Looks to be on a pretty good line. Looks to be on a reasonably good line to draw the shot again as Blomfield, and is going to. Well played. It's superb bowling from the Newland skip. Drew a touch-up with the first bowl.
And nicely acknowledged by Karen Hema.
Well played. Well, the law of averages that Karen Hema's going to have a go at this. She's going to attack this bowl. It's the most logical, what we saw with it previous bowl. So not always so easy when you're trying to drive to a bowl when it's way off the centre line. It's a different target. So here is Karen Hema, the Carlton Cornwall skip, in the big arms, backwards and forwards, trying to get down to what is the shot bowl. What is the shot bowl going to go by? Great attempt though. It wasn't far away from nudging the shot bowl out of the head. It was a very, very good attempt from there. You saw Paris Baker indicating it was only a couple of centimetres away. Now Olivia Blomfield, who's played 2 magnificent draw shots on this, the 16th end. Can she do so again to give her side a 2 to go into end 17 at 16-12? So, just showery conditions here at the Auckland Bowling Club. Here's Olivia Blomfield, who has played 2 magnificent bowls on this end. It looks on a good line again. This bowler, Blomfield's, looks on a good line, trying to stop it. This has been well played, this head. 2 shots, 2 magnificent bowls from the new, well, three
magnificent bowls,
magnificent
yeah.
bowls from the Newland skip, and to score the 2 shots. So well played, and we're now at 16-12 to the Carlton Cornwall combination, 16-12 as we play in 16 of 18. And remembering, of course, that the men's final of the Hunter Bowls Auckland Mayor's Champion pairs will be played shortly. That between the defending champions Leif Selby and James Williams of Carlton Cornwall up against the Ellerslie combination of David Motu leading with Danny Delaney skipping, the former international, both internationals. In fact, would have both gone to the same Commonwealth Games in 2010 in Delhi.
Oh, okay.
So 2 past internationals.
We could look in the record book, see if they ever met at Delhi.
Well, if they did, I know who won.
Did Danny played the fours?
He played in the fours.
Yeah.
Leif won the gold in the singles.
Yeah, I see. Singles and fours don't go together, do they? As a discipline.
No.
Oh, yeah, singles and four. They're not triple.
Well, they know because they play singles and fours at the same time.
Right.
And pairs and triples is the other break.
Right.
That they play.
Yeah. So they take 5. They take 5 players.
5?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
And they split them up.
Well, New Zealand.
They might take 6 or 7. It doesn't matter.
Well, New Zealand are talking about, and I don't know whether it's going to eventuate or not. New Zealand may take a reserve to Birmingham. I personally.
So 6. Take 6.
Yeah, well, I personally don't really see the need for it. Not when you've got the high performance manager Mike Kernahan with the side. But I don't know how the rules work out. Mm-hmm. That you, of course, whether if one gets nominated that as the coach, whether you can change it around throughout the event through illness, accident. I don't know. And these Commonwealth Games become very, very important going forward because the change of calendar now, the international change of calendar, whereas before we had the World Bowls every 4 years. Well, it's now the Asia Pacific we also used to play has now gone off the calendar, and the World Bowls are now every 2 years. So, of course, we were going to have the World Bowls in Broadbeach. I can't remember what year it's going to be. But anyway, so next year the World Champs are back at Broadbeach.
Okay.
Well, on the Gold Coast, I should say. And I believe the clubs that they'll be using are Helensvale, Broadbeach and Musgrave Hills, which were the ones that were set down anyway. So this particular Commonwealth Games comes a very, very important part of the international and funding calendar.
Right.
Because the two of the parameters for funding for Bowls New Zealand is performances at the Commonwealth Games and World Bowls.
Right.
So, and I'll ask you a question then. So, tell me then if you can win New Zealand in the men's disciplines. Last well played here from Paris Baker, drawing inside the shot. So when did New Zealand at the Commonwealth Games men last win a medal? And who was it?
1924, Pasco.
Well, it was actually 2002.
Okay.
And that was Mike Kernahan who won a bronze medal in Manchester against Steve Glasson. Since then, we've had Commonwealth Games, in 2004, 8, 12, 16, 20.
Yeah.
And the men, look at this, not quite touching it, falls
beautiful.
over the back of good shot.
Yeah, but you don't want it to fall because you hit the key
You hit
and
the
swing
jack
it
back.
So,
yet the last medal that New Zealand men won the
Yeah.
Commonwealth Games is way back in 2002.
yeah.
So this Commonwealth Games become very important moving forward as well. Now, of course, if we go to the World Bowls.
Right.
And then, of course, hoping, cross fingers, everything else, the Olympics in 2032 on the Gold Coast.
Oh, yeah.
Bowls, of course, has been nominated, and the World Bowls were put forward They're proposing. In fact, Mark Cameron is on that committee, the CEO of Bowls New Zealand, for bowls to be played at the Olympics in 2032.
As a demonstration sport or as a real sport?
A full medal sport.
Full medal sport. Okay.
It may well be a challenge, Gerard, because of the number of nations that actually...
Yeah, I remember a couple of years ago there was the future of bowls that they had talked about, had the big conference down in Christchurch.
Yes,
and the
when
guy
the World Bowls was on.
Correct, and the World Bowls guy came out to New Zealand, and he said that for a sport to be in the Olympics, you need 50 nations to play. And bowls was getting up there towards the 50 nations playing bowls.
Yeah, John Bell, who was then
That's the guy,
who was the boss man of World Bowls.
Yeah.
John was one of the people who was on that group trying to push forward for the Olympics. But I suppose one of the stumbling blocks for the sport is that if you've got athletics, you could more than likely have 20 countries that can win medals. If we take bowls as a case in point, it's quite condensed, so to speak, at the high performance aspect of the sport. But we'll wait and see, because there's all sorts of sports, as we know now, getting on the Olympic calendar. So we'll just wait and see. As we see Karen Hema on N17, leading 16-12. And one would think holding the shot, and if she is, she doesn't want to go anywhere near the head. And coming past the head as she is, that's over the head, matching the Paris Baker bowl and behind the head.
You have to think, though, that from an Olympics perspective, bowls is more appeal than golf frisbee.
Oh, absolutely. But not fours.
Oh, no. Okay, just singles and pairs.
That's more, that's,
okay.
I've got a feeling that part of the submission is mixed triples, 2-bowl triples.
Oh, yeah.
So you can cater for both. Trying to get contact here is the Jack should
Oh, no. That was bad luck.
Jack got a slice there. And
sliced your own one through the gap.
now the only shot really left on for, well, Karen Hema's now got a bowl at the back.
Yeah.
And of course Olivia Blomfield has already played 2 of her bowls, trailing 16-12. Carlton Cornwall holding the shot.
Holding 2, I would think.
So this could...
You just got to sit behind it, Karen. That's where you got to be. You got a little bit of position here.
This could be...
make your head secure.
And changing the hand, trying to get past the Lisa Prideaux bowl, is going to do so and finish on the other side of the head, finish in front of the Jack.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So,
it's a good bowl.
Very, very good bowl.
Well, it's a nice target to hit now.
Well, it is.
It's
it is. Now, I haven't asked it because there hasn't been any. So, is it kill a kill, or are we 2 metre in?
No, kill's a kill.
Kill's a kill, right?
Kill's a kill.
So if Olivia Bloomfield is to kill this, what is the 17th in, then it is replayed. But just the way how it's sitting there, though...
it'd be hard to kill from
well,
where it is.
It's a straight line back to the ditch, isn't it? From where
it is.
From where it's sitting.
But they didn't mark Karen's as a toucher, did they?
Looks to be a couple of centimetres just shy.
Yeah.
Olivia Bloomfield looking at it saying, I haven't got many options here.
Yeah.
And hasn't.
If that had been a touch, it would be even worse for them. Because you hit
nigh on impossible.
Well,
really.
you hit the ball, it goes in the ditch
it
as
goes
well.
straight back,
Yeah.
and it would go immediately back. Because you can't get one without the other, can
And
you?
that's true. Yeah.
So having a long look at the head, and what are the options? They're limited, to be fair, on this the 17th in, and of course 16-12. And
that's 4 shots, and you pick up 2 here, and it's all over.
it's shake hands time,
Yeah.
and the way how the head looks, if we can just get. We've got Paris Baker just there at the moment, but I think it's Carlton Cornwall. I think they're holding 3.
It might have been 4 because Karen's bowl came in.
Just see if that. We'll see in a moment. Obviously, be attacking the head. There's nothing else on for the skip for Olivia Bloomfield. Of course, remembering
Karen's got 1 bowl left.
Karen Hema's still got a bowl left as
Yeah.
well. So on the mat is Olivia Bloomfield playing on the backhand. Very deliberate on the mat. Down, pause,
Oh, no,
plain.
didn't run really, did she?
Well, not going to get a result out there to the jack. That's for sure. Trying to get second shot, perhaps. Not
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
going to
right.
do so. You can shake hands, I would say.
1, 2, 3.
There's at least a couple there. Are
No.
they shaking hands?
No shaking hands. Karen's going to play.
Well, there's definitely two there, isn't there?
Well, I would think so. I would have thought that
Def-
his other white ball was
definitely
closer
two.
than pink. But
Which takes you to 18-12, which means you need the lot
yeah, correct.
for a
Oh,
tie
well, yeah,
next
yeah.
end. And if Karen Hema can draw another shot here,
Yeah, but sometimes when you do this sort of a shot, you pick up the kitty and you stuff it up.
that's why I'm surprised she's playing this hand, because she drew such a good shot. But anyway,
The other way, yeah.
on a backhand. So here is Hema out on her forehand, trying to get down. Well, of course, it's her own
Oh,
team's
that's a nice
bowls that are there. If she turns over the Lisa Bordeaux bowl and does,
Yeah, and sits
that's
there for
three.
4. That's 3 at least, maybe
Definitely.
4.
And shake hands.
What are they going to do? 1, 2, 3.
16-12 and 3 is 19, is 7.
No, no. 16 and 3 is 19.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, 19, yeah.
that's 7.
Yeah, yeah. Not sure whether worrying, measuring any more then.
That's correct.
Yeah.
16-12, 4 in front, taken 3 out, is 7.
Why are you measuring, girls? You only need 3.
Yeah, I just shake hands. It's
Yeah, I can see a few of the men shaking their heads, wondering what's going on.
I 3,
4.
4.
They signalled 4.
Well, there's 17 ends gone.
2012. Yeah, she's holding out her hand now.
Surely.
Paris is holding out her hand to shake.
Well, 8.
Yeah. 12-20.
Right, it's all
12,
over.
it's
There
all
it is.
over,
It's been
yeah.
sorted out. And I can tell you that it is the Carlton Cornwall combination of Lisa Bordeaux leading and Karen Hema is skipping up against the Newland combination of Paris Baker and Olivia Blomfield, who have won out the winners in the Hunter Bowls Champion women's pairs here at the Auckland Bowling Club by 20 shots to 12. Shortly, we'll be back with you with the men's final, where we'll have the Ellerslie combination of Danny Delaney and David Motu, one of the real up-and-coming youngsters of the game. They'll be up against the defending champion, former international Leif Selby and James Williams of the Carlton Cornwall Club. They'll be back here with the live final, and we'll bring you all of that live action. This is Kevin Hickland
And Gerard Holst.
saying bye-bye, and we'll see you soon.